G'day, today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is creating a strategic business plan. I talk to people all the time about going and creating a business plan, but my experience in organizations that I worked for over the last 30 odd years is that if you create something that's really detailed, it isn't going to be much use, especially if you're a freelancer business. Because what happens is you can plan and research all you want, but the first time you encounter something that you didn't expect out of the marketplace, boof, the plan goes out the window, because once you're underway, things never go exactly the way that you anticipate. There's an old military saying, no plan survives first contact with the enemy. You might think, oh, that means you didn't plan enough. Well, actually that's not true, because you cannot foretell ahead of time all the things that are going to go wrong. All right, so what you need to make sure you do is create a simple plan. Now, the longer that you plan, the longer you're not in the marketplace, and that means three things are happening, and none of them are good. You're not bringing any revenue in, somebody could beat you to the punch, and the market is changing since the time you did your research and while you're still busy writing it up. Okay, so make sure that you follow General George Patton's advice in World War II. A good plan violently executed this week is much more useful than a perfect plan finished sometime next week. And look, there's another reason why spending a lot of time on writing a business plan is generally a complete waste of time. If you are a human being on planet Earth who's written a business plan, then like 98% of other human beings on planet Earth who've written business plans, you will never ever read it once you've written it. Okay, I know from my own experience in corporate about this. We'd have a 2-day planning session, we'd get an expensive consultant in to help brainstorm, we'd play corporate games, we'd drink, bond, and then we'd go home. Somebody would have to write it up when we were supposed to review it 3 months later, and it never happened. So what's the point of this story? Business plans are only useful if you accept two things. Number one, they are finely tuned living instruments which need constant updating. And number two, they don't make the future come true. You do. Okay? Look, no world-class team or athlete gets to that position without a plan. None. They have plans. Mrs. Google has lots of articles about plannings, and here's the really funny thing. 50% of them say you must have a plan, and the other 50% say they're a waste of time. Now you can decide for yourself, but I'm just going to point something out to you, that 87% of business failures are caused by the lack of plans. Businesses with a plan will grow 30% faster than those without a plan. Startups, including solopreneurs, by the way, with a plan are 260% more likely to go from an idea to an actual business than those who don't have a plan. So unless you're a gambler, my advice, have a plan. But you don't need something really complex which takes ages to write. You can keep it really simple, and I think there are just 4 headings that you need. All right, strategy, tactics, action schedule, and revenue model. So let's just go through these in a little bit of detail. Under strategy, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put a mission statement. Now, lots of the online business plan template sellers, of which there are thousands by the way, say you should think about what motivates you, what causes and experience led you to start the business, what problems do you solve, the wider social issues that you care about. But for me, it's really simple. Your mission statement should be written from your customer's point of view. So actually, your mission statement should answer 3 questions. What problems do I solve for my customers? How do I solve those problems for my customers? And what results can I create for them in terms of increased revenue, reduced costs, and more market share? It's pretty simple. Okay, then the next thing you want to talk about in strategy is your marketing. Okay, who are my customers? The tighter definition, the more successful that you're going to be. And use demographics to define the characteristics of your ideal market. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up. It's really important. And use psychographics, and if you don't know what that is, go and look that up as well, because that's really important as well. This helps you to define people's wants and needs and buying behaviors, and it's really critical. And a lot of small businesses get this wrong. You're not a solution running around looking for a problem to solve. You're looking for people with a specific problem that is within your capability to help solve. You should be able to specify the problem that they need someone to solve, or specify the opportunity that they need your help to put into place because they can't do it for themselves. Where they are and how you can reach them, you'll put those details into the tactics section. Now here's a great tool for understanding your customers and the journey they go through to buy you and what you've got to offer. It's called, funnily enough, a customer journey map. And there are 6 stages in this customer journey map. And we've got a free sample that we're happy to send to you, and we'll talk to you at the end about how to get that. So there are 6 stages. The first is awareness. The customer discovers a practical or emotional need that they've got. Then they search, they look for a solution to their problem. Then they consider the options. They research products and sales and brands and so on. And then at some point, and it's generally about 60% of the way through their journey, they buy your product or they sign up for your service. And then the next step is loyalty. They either love it or they hate it. You've got to hope that they love it. Advocacy is the last stage where happy customers become great word of mouth marketing engines for you. So mapping your customer's journey actually helps you clarify their needs, and it enables to make sure that at every point that they're coming into contact with you, their user experience is giving them value. Another really important thing to do is to do buyer personas, and look that up if you don't know what they are, because what that will do is enable you to identify opportunities to connect with people at each phase. Okay, buyer personas. We're going to talk a lot more about the customer journey mapping and buyer personas in some later videos. Okay, number 3 under your strategy is about competitors. Find out as much as you can about your competitors, regardless of whether you operate in a local geography, like a town or city, or you're online. Who are they? What do they offer? What ratings do they get? What do they charge? Anything at all that you can find out. Research, research, research. And then have a look to see what you can do that's a little bit different and will mean something to the people that you want to impress, your prospective clients. So making the customer journey as informative and product oriented as possible will make a really, really big difference instead of just talking about you. These days, customers are like 70% of the way through their purchase decision before they even look at who they're going to approach to buy from. 70%. Customers these days research everything. So you'd better have lots of the right kind of content that makes them want to go further and then finally make contact with you as opposed to other people. Now, the telltale signs are things like the average length of website visit, the pages they went to and spend most time on, whether they search for you on Facebook or LinkedIn, because customers who are researching you leave a trail. Learn to read those signs so that you can tweak what they find out about you and what you've got to offer at each step of the journey. So in summary, have a business plan. You're mad if you don't. And as I said before, there are 4 elements to a good startup business plan: strategy, tactics, operating schedule, and a business plan. And I absolutely acknowledge we've only just covered one, which is strategy. And we'll get to the others in later videos. But the key points in here are to have a mission statement that's written from your customer's point of view, a marketing strategy which is based on a really tight definition of your ideal client, their demographics and their psychographics, and to have a really deep understanding and reaction to their customer journey map. And lastly, make sure you deep dive into the cesspool that your competitors swim in so you can figure out how best to beat them at every turn. Okay? We'll get to the other topics later, so bear with me on that. If you like the topic though, we've got an upcoming online course that will teach you in detail everything you need to know about how to get on your feet and how to build a business using your skills from scratch and a bloody good business plan. And the link is in the description. So don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It'll help support the channel. And if there's anything that you'd like for me to talk about, drop it into the comments. And don't forget to hit the bell icon, ding, to be part of the notification squad to get notified every time we upload, because I respond to questions in the first hour. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll catch you later.